Vonnie C, another trucker. Once again, just coming up out the gym. Uh, see, man, we trying something new, man. Stepping up my sound quality a little bit. I'm making this content. I've been pretty consistent with it. Yeah, surprisingly. So I guess I'm enjoying this, and the people that watch the channel, the people that you know, that's active and that's rocking with the channel, man. Y'all definitely give me the fuel to keep it going. So yeah, I went on ahead and started off with a little small investment into a little mic set. We seeing what it do, playing with it, uh kind of researching mics and quality of different mics and cameras and things of that nature. But I'd start off with the little mic. But I want to make this a little bit more interesting, man. And plus it's gonna give me something to do, just adding a little bit more to the channel, man, add a little bit of sauce. But hopefully the sound quality is better. I don't know, from what I understand, from what I can tell, the sound quality that I've been having has been doing good. I ain't heard nobody complain about it, but we just stepping it up a little bit. So yeah, man. Somebody had asked me yesterday, and somebody had asked me somebody else a while ago, like some months ago. They asked me the same question, like, is it lonely? Does it get lonely driving over the road? Is it lonely in trucking? And when somebody had asked me this a while ago, I seen it and I wanted to get around to it, but I had to sit and think about it, you know what I mean? And just let it marinate in the back of my mind because I didn't want to be selfish with a response to this question, and I want to offer a solution to this. So loneliness and trucking, and I just got to be honest. Me personally, I never really had them feelings. I never felt lonely in trucking. I never felt depressed. Besides, when you be in trucking for so long, you're going to go through every type of emotion. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you're going to be happy. Yes, sometimes it's going to piss you off. Things going to piss you off. But just as far as like being in the state of loneliness or being in a state of depression constantly, consistently, nah, I never felt that. I never felt that at all. So, um, for one thing, me personally, I'm a person I'm just bred to be a loner. I'm just adapt to being able to move and do things alone. That's just the way that I'm cut. Um, so coming into trucking, man, was a perfect fit for my personality and character type. So as far as like being lonely and things like that, never really affected me. Um, I just never really felt that way. And I think one of the main reasons why I never felt that way, which is a solution that I'm offering to anybody who might feel that way, is that it always goes back to what I be saying, having a plan, having a vision, and having something or things that you're working towards. Having a reason other than just being out here trying to get a check. Like we all trying to get to the money. You know what I'm saying? That goes without saying. That's survival. That's like breathing air. But what's the bigger reason? You know, I always had a bigger reason than just the money. Because if it was just about the money, I would have went lease in the very beginning of my career, just because that's the way it's presented, more money. So I would have jumped on leasing from day one. If that was the case, it ain't it. You know what I'm saying? I always knew I was gonna get to the money. I wasn't tripping. Sometimes what I've been learning, like, yes, still in trucking, still driving, still chasing the money, but it got to get to a certain point to where your frequency got to be raised up to where it's like you're not always chasing money. You have to set things up for money to come to you in a sense, whether you invest in whatever. So I just came into trucking with a plan, and I've always been working towards something since day one. Since day one, I've always been working towards something. And when you working towards something, especially in trucking, it keeps your mind occupied. See, when you in trucking with an idle mind, that leaves room and time for your mind to drift. That leaves room and time for your mind to worry about things. In a lot of cases, that's not going to be conducive to your progress. You know, that if you out here, you just, you out here in trucking because this was the only thing that you can do. You ain't really had no real plans, and you not really working towards nothing in trucking, and you just out here, but you out here because you feel like you forced to be, and it's taking you away from your social life. That can leave a person to feel lonely, which can cause depression. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it messes with a lot of people who in relationships and got families and stuff like that. Trucking is taking you away from your family, or just whatever the case may be. Most people that's coming in the trucking, they going to OTR route. They going a route to where they gonna be spending a lot of time away from home. Even if you local, no, you're not going away for weeks at a time, but you spending more time out here working than you is at home. So yeah, that's at minimum. But anything else, yeah, most of the time you're gonna be away from home for weeks at a time. Being in strange places. Being in places you ain't never been to. You know what I'm saying? Some places gonna feel some environments gonna feel cool. Some environments you're gonna be looking around, you're just gonna feel sketchy. You're not gonna feel comfortable. Uh Trying to find some place to park. Not having access to the type of food that you like. You know what I'm saying? You might have been used to the home cooked meals. Now you out here on the road. If you're not cooking for yourself, then you subjecting yourself to just eating trash. Because this stuff out the truck stops, most of this stuff, man, nah. Like, Subway ain't even healthy, but it's a healthier option. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, Subway is nasty. I only eat Subway when I have to, out of survival. So it's a lot of things out here on the road that can bother a person. You know what I'm saying? That can mess with with somebody's psyche out here. But I just feel like the best thing to combat that is coming into trucking with something to look forward to. Something that you got to have something that you working towards. And that's the one thing that's always kept me in line. You know what I'm saying? It kept my mind on track. Is that I came in since day one working towards something. And the more things that you executing along your journey, the more it's gonna feel worth it. When I'm driving down the road and you driving in this open road, open land, for some people that type of scenery can get boring. But to me, I don't even be paying attention to the scenery. Like I see it, of course. You know what I'm saying? My consciousness, but my sub looking through what I'm seeing through my eyes, through my subconsciousness, all I see is my vision. That's it. You know how when the sky is blue and you look up at the sky and you see those fluffy, I can't even get it out, fluffy clouds in the sky, and they just all different type of shapes. And if you're looking at the clouds, it leads your imagination to drift off, and you might see a cloud that look like a dog, look like a poodle or something like that. You know what I'm saying? When I'm looking for it in the sky and the clouds or whatever, all I see is my vision. That's all I see. That's all I see is what I got painted in my mind. So I feel like that's a solution to loneliness and trucking. Having a routine helps too, whatever that may be. Maybe you can be in trucking studying, or while you're driving, or while you're in the process of being on the road. You know what I'm saying? You investing time into something else while you're doing this to build something outside of trucking, or you're studying more about trucking because you want to grow within the industry, whatever it is, you should be putting your time into something that's going to help you grow while you out here driving. Because I mean, just riding up and down the road, just listening to music and looking at a bunch of entertainment with empty calories is it's only gonna help you so far. I mean, I look at the BS, you know what I'm saying? I'm entertained by the BS most of the time, but I got a regimen. And my regimen has kept me in line, has kept me disciplined since I've been in trucking. From day one. Wake up, work out, study languages. You know what I'm saying? And I'm naturally attracted to looking at content that's gonna help me out. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it may be about, I'm looking at constructive content. And yeah, sometimes it's a mixture of some BS content that I'm looking at. It's good for entertainment sometimes, but basically my point is, man, I stay on a daily regimen. My daily regimen, man, it just keep me intact, it keep me in line, and just always knowing that I'm working towards something. Um, and it don't matter what you working towards, as long as you working towards something. You know what I'm saying? I want to clean up my deck. I want to get this new car. You know what I'm saying? You clean your debt up. Okay, boom, you go get the car. Okay, boom, now you go get an apartment. Move out of from wherever you moving from. You know what I'm saying? And the more stuff you start accomplishing, the more you're gonna start feeling good about yourself. The more you're gonna start feeling like, man, I do this, man. I'm in this trucking. You gonna appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna take pride in what you're doing. And then your goals gonna keep growing. Okay, damn. Okay, I got this fly apartment, man, but I'm paying too much for rent, man. I think it's time for me to get some property or a house. Okay, boom. Now I'm finna start working towards that. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I just went and got me a crib, man. I think I want to get me another one. Start doing real estate. Then boom, you gonna start doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to allow yourself to keep growing. You got to be working towards something, man, because when you just out here with an idle mind, yeah, that leads for a lot of stuff to start penetrating into your mind that you ain't got no business thinking about. But everybody's situation is different. That's one of the reasons why when I first came into trucking, I didn't want to be in no relationship. I didn't want no attachments because I already knew what this was about, and I was already in a relationship before I got into trucking, and just being in a relationship and situationship at times, I just already understood the weight that they come with. And me coming into trucking, man, I wanted a fresh start with my life. I didn't want to be worried about nobody back home. I don't want nobody bugging me. I didn't want to be bothered with that. And I've been at peace ever since I've been in trucking. I've been in peace with myself about a lot of things in life. But trucking, I've been at peace. And that's another reason why I've never suffered from loneliness or depression being in trucking. Because I'm at peace doing this. I don't have a lot of noise in my life. The only noise that I got in my life is working through the obstacles I got to work through to get to where I'm going. But as far as like noise from other people, I don't really have that. And I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. And not telling nobody else they should not be in a relationship or nothing like that. But I just knew, like me, like I said, I came into trucking when I was 34. And at that time, I'm a grown man, so I got a pretty good idea about who I am up until that point, what I like, what I don't like, what I'm gonna tolerate, what I'm not gonna tolerate. I just had my mind focused, and I didn't want to be just some of the stories that I heard. I just didn't want to deal. I didn't want to have too many outside influences affecting what I had going on moving forward with this trucking, because I knew I was gonna need full focus. I knew I was gonna have to get this my all, and I didn't want to be I wanted the least distractions. So, I know for a lot of people, people got other things going on. People got social life, people in their life, things of that nature. I mean, I guess it just all depends on how you handle it. But no matter who you got in your life or what you got going on, I just think that the best solution to combat or to curve loneliness, depression, and trucking is always having something that you're working towards. Period. Even if it ain't nothing, I done heard some people say like you shouldn't get into trucking if you're not going to be in a trucking for the long haul. And even though I've been in trucking for the long haul, and I'm gonna continue to be in trucking for the long haul, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I just, I think trucking is for any and everybody who want to get into it. I mean, it's an open world to anybody. You know what I'm saying? But trucking is an open world to anybody. But trucking ain't finna call everybody. Everybody not gonna be called by trucking. You can come and dip your toes in this, but that don't mean it's gonna be for you. So my best, most simplistic, basic advice is if you're gonna do trucking, man, make sure you're using this for something. If all you want to do is get in and get out, maybe you just want to clean up your debt. Maybe you want to go through take it to the extreme. Like, man, oh my God, bills out of control. I got debt. I don't got no other way to escape it. How I'm gonna get out of paying this high as rent? I got this debt and I got this debt going on. Hey, that's when trucking can help you be creative. Go ahead, hop your ass off in one of these trucks and live in out this truck. Cause that's how I seen it coming in. Like, okay, truck, you know what I'm saying? Before I got in trucking, I ain't know nothing about living. I heard, people do live and sleep inside their trucks, but once I got the full scope, I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can adapt to this. So if you got to use a truck to live in there to your advantage, and that's what you got to do. That to me, that is the greatest advantage about these trucks nowadays. These trucks are mobile homes, and having a mobile home can be used to your advantage. You can make it your home. You know, um, one thing I see a lot of truckers. They walk with their headsets. Me personally, I don't. When I don't like wearing my headset outside the truck because I don't really be that interested in talking to people. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. But hey, if you gotta talk to people and to have people to talk to, then so be it. While you out here to keep you going. But talking to people, being entertained on social media, and listening to music, that's really only gonna take you so far. You know what I'm saying? That's only gonna take you so far. I think the ultimate state of mind that a person needs to be in to really get what they want out of trucking, man, is to know what they here for and know what they doing this for and having something that they working towards. And ultimately, you know, what a person feel like they should be working towards that's on you. I feel ultimately we should be working towards our financial freedom. Like we should be using trucking to invest and grow our resources. You know what I'm saying? Not just making checks and just blowing them just because you get paid every Friday and the money look good and you're going to get it back. you know what I'm saying? I understand that, a lot of people got to go through that phase, but at some point in time, it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, I feel like we should be using this in whatever capacity, whether it's within trucking or outside of trucking, we should be growing our resources. We should be using this to grow our resources. That's just me, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got so much stuff I want to do, dog. So much stuff I'm inspired by. They keep me inspired. That's why I say I'm gonna start stepping up my content just to give me something else to do to keep me inspired. You know what I'm saying? It's like you had to keep doing stuff to keep you like keep reinventing yourself sort of while you on this road. Keep adding new things to your life out here on the road. So like, you know, just a little thing, like with the content, because eventually I'm gonna upgrade, learn how to start messing with. A matter of fact, I'm gonna give me a gimbal for my phone. Eventually, I'm gonna upgrade to some other cameras, and I'm gonna start learning how to edit. You know what I'm saying? Add music and all. You know what I'm saying? We gonna just having fun. Just little things that can be constructive. You know what I'm saying? To keep your mind occupied. So, um, yeah, man, and creating a routine. I try to. One thing I try to do, I try to read every morning too. Try to read, and I try to read. I'm not a religious person at all. You know what I'm saying, but I respect the Bible. The Bible got some cold game. The Holy Bible got some cold game, and I'm not a Bible thumper. I'm not the type of person that tries to keep people in line with the Bible. I just respect the Bible because the Bible got some cold game in the Bible. Whew! The Bible is so cold. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole other topic. But I try to read. It's hard sometimes. Sometimes I be tired. I forget. You shut down for the night in the truck and you go straight to sleep. But I try to, before I go to sleep, try to read a verse. You know what I'm saying? That's something I've been working on. But you know what I'm saying? You just got to keep working on yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to work on yourself while you on the road too. So you need to be working towards something and working on yourself. Don't just see a lot of people get depressed with this trucking because they really don't be working towards nothing. People, they just want to check. But see, with trucking, we're getting a check. A lot of times people let their health go. You came into trucking, let's just say you 6 foot, 175 pounds. You've been in trucking for 3-4 years. Now you 230 pounds, no muscle. You know what I'm saying? You got to be working on something, man, and continuing to work on yourself. You should be working on yourself. And it don't matter how you working on yourself, what you doing. You should be occupied with working on yourself and working towards something. And I think that is a good thing that will alleviate the weight of dealing with loneliness and depression, because that's just something I've never dealt with. And the reason why I can say, besides me, just my natural character, being able to adapt to trucking, I just always been working towards something, always been working on myself in every way. In every way. So that's the best advice I can give for dealing with loneliness. Yeah, social media can make you feel lonely too. Social media can make you depressed too. Social media can make you feel, especially you out here trucking, you ain't where you want to be, and you working towards something. You see other people living their life, or people pretending to live a certain type of life they probably not. That can mess with your psyche too. And you have to learn how to be self-contained. You have to learn how to be at peace within yourself and be comfortable with your journey. This is your journey, not nobody else's journey. It don't matter if you just started trucking and this person over here, they already riding clean and they doing this and that. Like, they ain't got nothing to do with you. And what's going on with you ain't got nothing to do with them. You got to focus on your shit, because your time will come. Your time will come. Whatever you got planned, whatever it's gonna be, if you stay down and you stay focused, your time will come. You can't base your timing on nobody else's timing. And we just live in a society today where everybody think they gotta have shit overnight because on social media, everything is about a look. So we are influenced by looks, quick looks, overnight looks. We all influenced by a lot of shit that's not even real. So that's another thing that you have to be careful about. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to be inspired, and it's another thing to allow what people is presenting to make you feel like you ain't doing shit. No, stay on your journey, stay on your path. Cause I always think about when I first started in trucking and didn't have nothing. Yeah, you looking at people live their lives, and people looking like they doing things better than you, and they having more fun than you. And a lot of times, time and tell, that shit probably was a lie. You know what I'm saying? Not saying like all the time, but we know generally things, it'd be some Scooby-Doo type shit. You know what I'm saying? At the end of a lot of these people's story, the mask always come off. And when that mask come off, you find out it was a person who, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't even who they was portraying to be. And it's just all around on social media, not just trucking. I'm just talking about in general. So you can't let that affect you either. And that's why it's important to know who you are, know where you going, know why you here, know what you working towards. Because I don't let outside influences affect me. I'm not worried about what nobody else got going on. I'm not worried about who's shining harder than me, I'm not worried about none of that. Because my time is gonna come. My time has already been coming. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, stick to the script. And I mean, I'm trying to see what how can I end this? Like I said, I understand people get lonely, people go through it. Yeah, trucking can it can mess with you if you let it, depending on where you at. Just like it was a video that went viral last year. This white dude, I don't know if he was my age. He looked like he probably was my age, a little younger or older. He was somewhere around my age. Um, but this guy was having a nervous breakdown on the side of the road. You know, and he was just talking about building a business, trying to build a business in trucking at the same time, having to deal with these ungrateful people that he was trying to provide for, you know, whoever his significant other was and kids, things of that nature. I think it wasn't even his kids or something like that, but he was going off. He had a nervous breakdown, and a lot of people felt that. You know, I felt it, even though I wasn't going through what he going through, and I'm not even going to allow myself to go through nothing like that. But from a human standpoint, I felt it. So I don't know, man. And at certain points of time, man, you gotta be selfish too. You know, I don't know about nobody else. I can't tell nobody else how to live their life and, you know, how to handle your relationships. Um, but I just knew me coming into trucking, man, I wasn't gonna let nobody affect what I got going on or what I was trying to work towards. I don't got time to be dealing with no outside noise. So if that makes me selfish, then so be it. Because my selfishness has given me peace of mind. So I don't know no other way to put it. I don't know no other way to put it, man. If you feeling depressed and lonely doing this trucking, you probably don't need to be doing it. You know what I mean? Because it's not gonna be good for your health. You're just gonna be spiraling out of control. If you really feel like that, or if you in this, then you need to, you know what I'm saying, start taking control of your life and working on yourself and create some type of blueprint to follow, to get yourself on track, to have something to focus on. Because it's a lot of people in this world is just drifting. It's a lot of people, man. I'm gonna recommend a book, a great book. It's a book called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Some people might be familiar with Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill wrote the book Think and Grow Rich. It's a well-known book. But he got this book called Outwitting the Devil. You got to read that. And that's why I got that term drifters, because there's a lot of people out here that's just drifting. They don't got no mind of their own. They just out here. And a lot of times if you feel lonely and depressed out in this trucking, you could just be drifting. You know what I'm saying? You just out here because you thought trucking was going to be one thing and you didn't realize what this was going to come with. You ain't know the sacrifice. You just thought it was, I'm just going to come out here and just get a bag, but you ain't realize what it was going to take to come out here and get to that bag. You got to sacrifice a lot. So don't be a drifter. You know what I'm saying? Have a reason and a purpose. And the more you have a reason and a purpose for what you're doing, the more your mind gonna stay occupied. And you gonna keep yourself on track. And you're not gonna feel like you wasting your time out here. And time won't be wasted when you look back on your journey. Because my 8 years of being in trucking, I'm gonna always feel like I can do better. I'm gonna always look back and look at, okay, I made these mistakes. I can correct this here. I can do this better moving forward. I'm gonna always feel like that. But at the same time, I can look back and say, like, I wasn't out here wasting my time. And I'm still at peace with what I'm doing. So take that as you will. If I need to see another trucker, y'all be easy.